Hi. I discovered this little gem by digging through some of my old exercise books. It's a story I wrote when I was in Year 6 at school. It was titled A Christmas Story, Modern, because it was a modern retelling of the Christmas story. Now this was part of a project, I seem to remember, where we would all write a short story that we presented on the wall for anyone who passes by to have a read and see what we were all getting up to. My story was taken off the wall, and my mother was called in so that the teacher could explain exactly why my story had been removed. Have you ever looked back at something you did in your past and thought, I'm a frickin' genius? Well, this is what I discovered upon finding this treasure once again. Such was my wonder at the imagination and literary prowess that I demonstrated aged 11, that I thought I would share this with the world. So, without further ado, I bring you A Christmas Story, Modern. Herod was pleased with himself. He was about to find out how many people there were in the Roman Empire. Now, King Herod had organised a census, spelled incorrectly by both me and my teacher. And everyone had to go to their born town to be registered. You know, your born town. What's your born town? Mary was pregnant. An angel had visited to tell her she was going to have a baby, which was God's son. After that, she married a man called Joseph. As soon as they heard about the census, they set off to Bethlehem. They set off for Bethlehem, which was Joseph's born town. Their rusty, chuttery old car, I'm not entirely sure if chuttery is a word, wasn't at all fast, and after a mile it broke down. Cars. They were just wondering what to do when a junk man came along and swapped their car for a motorcycle. You know what junk men are like. What a stroke of luck! What a stroke of luck, whispered Joseph. But there's only room for one. Then the kind junk man gave them a ski thing to attach to the back of their motorbike. So Joseph skied all the way to Bethlehem. When they got there, they tried to get into the local hospital, but a doctor came out and told them too many of the Jews were being circumcised, so the hospital was full. Now this, it turned out, is the reason why my story was taken off the wall. Too many children were reading my story and asking the teacher what circumcised meant. Now, I've drawn a nice picture here of the hospital doors and Mary and Joseph being barred entry by someone who's dressed up in surgical sort of clothing, I guess. And we can see what's going on inside. Okay, so where were we? Too many of the Jews were being circumcised, so the hospital was full. Then Mary and Joseph sat down on the step just as a nurse came out. Oh, poor dears, she said, and ran inside and tidied the boys' toilets. Toilettes, which was the only place unoccupied 24 hours of the day. I'm not entirely sure where I thought the boys did go to the toilet. So she tidied the boys' toilets and invited Mary and Joseph in. So poor old Mary and Joseph had to spend the night in a boys' toilets. And poor old Jesus was born in a drained out toilet bowl. They had a long, tiring night. But in the morning they had lots of guests. The first was a mop and bucket of water who had been carelessly left by the cleaner. I'm not entirely sure what sort of analogy I was trying to go with there, but then there was the caretaker who came to take the gents sign off the door. I suppose that was necessary so that they wouldn't get people just wandering in. 3 wise members of parliament who brought gifts. The Minister of Wealth gave them a bar of gold from the bank. The Minister of Smartness gave them ties and suitcases and things like that. And the Minister of Healing gave them a tube of Savlon. Then a farmer with his 7 children and wife came, and each one of them gave a pair of wellies, just in case Jesus wanted to visit their farm. There's a picture of Jesus, urinals on the wall, wonderful. After this, they had a nap. Joseph heard an angel warning them about Herod trying to find Jesus. They fled to Egypt on their motorbike and over the sea by motorboat. This is where my story ends. And then we have a closing picture of Mary and Joseph speeding along on the motorboat and Jesus apparently skiing off the back of the boat. And there you can tell he is the Son of God because there is a nice little God ray shining down from a cloud on him. Well, there you have it. A Christmas modern story. A Christmas story modern. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed reminiscing about the time when I wrote that. Bye.